Okay, we are live. Hello again. All right, so let's wait for some people. If you're hearing music from my background, that is because today is a festival in India, and festival's name is Lohri. It's a get-together program in India, so that is why the music is being loud in the background. Actually, it is far aside, but there are big DJs, big speakers. So that is why maybe you guys are hearing the sounds in the music. Maybe that's a very big maybe, but maybe. Okay, so again we are live here. So why don't we go to our first work, which is analysis. So here the chart is looking quite good right now, right? So BTC have crossed this support level, or which was resistance at before, which is at $91,500, and now it is approaching the main resistance of ours, which is 94,000. And by the looks of it, by the looks of this candle, it is a full body candle. So whenever there's a full body candle, then that candle always gets along for another push. So we are very likely that BTC would cross 94,000 on today's daily. I hope so. So everyone is hoping for it. So we are going to cross 94,000, and then our target of January, which is 99,000, would come. So if we get a daily closing above $94,000, then we are going for $99,000 next. And if that also comes, then we are going for 100, 1,000, and 100, $3,000. So that is the chart of BTC. Now here again for Ethereum, Ethereum have as I've said in yesterday live, that Ethereum is looking bullish than BTC because it was again at the support level. Now Ethereum is at the crucial level, which is at $3,180 right here. It is at the crucial level. If we get a daily closing above this level, then we are definitely going for 3,300, and then the next target of our January, which is at 3,600, $3,700. That is the target for Ethereum in January. So these are the two things which we are eyeing on. And then this is the third coin, which is a virtual. We were talking about this from past 4 or 5 days, and virtual went down to this support level, and now it is again pumping from here. But here you can see BTC is looking quite bullish. Ethereum not so much bullish, but still quite bullish, but not virtual, because if this is the run of BTC, if BTC runs very quickly, then there can be the chances that only BTC will pump. Along with the BTC, maybe Ethereum will pump, but altcoins will lag in this pump. So if that happens, don't get out of altcoins, because whenever BTC touches $103,000 or $99,000 or $101,000, and it goes sideways or goes for a little correction, that is the point, that is the time when altcoins will pump. So that is the reason why I'm saying don't get out of alts if you have entered into any. And from past 4 or 5 days, I've been talking about virtuals, and virtual system is booming. Even today, there were many coins on virtual ecosystem which have done 3x and 4x. So keep an eye on it. AI agents are coming back. even the memes of AI agents, they are coming back to the lives. So keep it in mind that you don't get out of the coins before you get the pump, because you are going to be very regretful if you get out of the coins and you have picked a very good coins, and then if pump happens and you are not in it, it is quite regretful. So don't get out of your coins. So this was the analysis of crypto. Now we are going to talk about our topic of today, which is oh, sorry, which is this: catching lies. All right, so a video is also in order for this topic, for catching lies, but I'm not going to talk about what I've talked about in video, because as I've said before, we are not going to talk about videos. For that, you have to watch my videos. So, how you can catch a lie? I've given three or four ways how to catch a liar. But now let's go further into this topic: how to catch a liar. So after you have watched that video is coming out, I guess tomorrow, maybe. That video is either coming out tomorrow or that video is either coming out on Sunday. So these are the days when the videos will come out. So you will find some ways how you can catch a liar in it, how you can catch lies of other. But if we are going deeper into a liar technology, or you can say a liar analogy, then why are we catching lies? What is the main purpose of it? So the main purpose of catching a lie is to be not beaten down by someone else. When it is most important to catch a lie, tell me, is there a point when it is very important for you to catch a lie? And the answer is yes, there are many, many conditions. If you are in a business and you cannot trust your business partner, that is first point. That is the first time when you would be ensuring, or if you are saying, let's say, when you would be praying to the God or to the universe, please God, please let me catch this person in a lie. Because if you can't put your finger on it, you should put your finger on it. So catching lies becomes very, very important if you are in a business partnership. Because if you cannot trust your business partner, if your business partner is screwing you over, it will hurt you badly, both financially, mentally, emotionally, as well as physically sometimes. Because sometimes your business partners beat you up by singling you out, and there have been many, many instances where business partners have killed their business partners. And in India, there have been a lot of movies on these topics. So please make sure that you do understand how you can catch a lie, right? Now, for catching lies, you also need to catch some proofs. And first step is if you can understand if that person is lying in the talking. So for that, you have to watch my video. So first instance is in the business. Now, second instance, when you are in a relationship. Now that is again very, very important step. Because if you're in a relationship and if you cannot catch lies of your partner, that is when it is very, very hurtful. You become emotionally attached to someone else, and that someone else screws you over. If he or she cheats on you, if he or she takes your advantage financially, if he or she takes your advantage emotionally, if he or she takes your advantage asset wise, they keep your assets or they manipulate you to transfer your assets to them, that is when it hurts you the most, right? So in a relationship, it gets very, very, very important for you to understand how you can catch a lie. In third instance, all right, let's not see in the screen. Okay, this wallpaper is good. So on the third screen, or on the third point where it is very important for you to catch a lie, for you on the third instance, when it is very important for you to catch a lie, that is when you are in a marriage. It is kind of similar in relationship, but it is very, very big thing if it is a marriage. Let's say you are a millionaire Let's say you are a multimillionaire, but how would you know which person is good for you? That the person you are choosing, the person you're eyeing on, is not after your property, is not after your assets. Or if you have been married to someone and now you are suddenly rich by the God's grace, by your invention, by your business, whatever, and now the behavior of your partner, the behavior of your spouse is suddenly changed, how would you handle that? Is that person lying to you? Now, that situation is very, very important for you, when it is very, very important for you to catch the lies of your spouse, because you don't know when that spouse of yours can transfer your assets to theirs, to themselves. So these are the third, or you can say these are the three instances when it is very important for you to catch lies of others. First one was business, second one was in relationship, and third one was in marriage. Now, for the relationship part, it is not just a relationship of lovers. It can be the relationship of your family. It can be the relationship of your siblings, right? So it can be any kind of relationship. So if you cannot trust someone else, because our human instinct is very sharp. Sometimes we just know that this person, it doesn't seem right. This person doesn't feel right. I just cannot put my finger on it, but this person doesn't feel right. So that is when it is very important for you to know how you can catch a lie. I've given many tips in the video how you can catch a lie. So for that you have to watch the videos. But let's go somewhere further. How to catch a lie, or how to circle out, or you can say single out a person whom you cannot trust. Now, if we're going further into this catching live stream, let's say you have a business partner. Let's say you have a business partner, you have a very good friend, you have a relative of yours, or if you have a spouse. So there's a thing called personality tests on the internet. I'm sure many of you would have heard about it. But if you haven't, you can search for Briggs-Myers test. It is a personality test, and there is another test which is Tai Lopez. So Tai Lopez have also figured out, or you can say created a test by the help of scientists. So you can search on the Google, let's say search for Tai Lopez personality test, and you would go to that page. In that test, you ask your relative, your business partner, your spouse. So this is the test which I found for personality. Why don't you take this test and give me an answer? You can say this. And when you say this, and if the person which you're referring to, which you're trying to circle out, if you the person you are trying to single out, the person on whom you cannot trust, if that person flips out, if that person says, why would I do that? Why should I do it? And if you say it's just for our knowledge, I will also fill up this test and I will show you your results. You show me your results. And if that person does a lot of no, 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 if that person takes a lot of persuasion from your side, that person is not good for you. It is very, very better, and it is very, very advisable for you that you get out of that relationship if you are, you get out of that business partnership if you are, and you get out of your marriage if you are in that kind of marriage. And if it is not possible for you, then you try to maintain your distance from that person. If somehow you are stuck in that kind of situation where you cannot leave that person out, then you try to maintain your distance from that person. Why? Because if you cannot put your finger on it, and if that person is not ready to show you results of their test, and it is before they are taking any test, it is a very, very red flag. Because if that person is not trusting you just with a test which is free, which is not costing any money, which is not going to say, all right, this person is a psychopath. I mean, it is going to say that, but you have to understand how to read the results. But that test is not going to say, all right, this person is a murderer. This person is a narcissistic person. This person is not good for you. That person is not screaming that, right? You have to understand the results. So if that person is not ready to take the test, it is a very, very red flag on that person, and you should maintain your distance from that person. Now, after knowing the personality test, let's say the person have done the personality test and you got out the results. Now there are two results which you have to keep your eyes on. If that person is totally emotional, so there is a segment of emotions. If that person scores higher on emotions, then that person is super emotional and that person is going to use emotions on you. So let's say you guys formed a party, or you are going to say, if you are going to see for yourself, whenever that person is in some kind of trouble, he always, or he or she always gives you example when he or she helps you in the past. It is not going to be often that that person is often helping you. It would be just it would be just one or two instances where that person helped you in the past, and that person is going to bring that thing out again and again and again. So if you are in a relationship, or if you are in a business partnership with emotional kind of person, it is very better, it is very advisable for you to get out of that relationship or partnership if you can. And if you cannot get out of any situation, then you should maintain your distance with that person. You do not let that person come near to you. Now, on the second hand, if the person scores higher on psychopath, on psychopathic level, now that is when that person doesn't have any empathy. That means even psychopaths are businessmen people. They have been study where it said around 90% of CEOs, 90% of CEOs of bigger companies, or the big companies, are psychopaths. All right. So if that person is a psychopath, that means that person is very ruthless. He doesn't care about your emotions. He doesn't care about humanity. If that person is set on making money, that person is going to make money, it cost, even if it costs you your life, even if it costs you your hard work, even if it costs you your many years savings, emotions. He doesn't care about that. So if that person scores high on psychopathic level, you should also you should also maintain your distance from that person. So these are the things which I have wanted to talk about to you guys. So in catching lies, why it is important, we talked about this. We also talked about crypto scenario, how charts are going, and we also talked about what kind of person we should avoid. Now, there is also a single test which you can check with. Let's say you are in a problem, or you create a problem, right? You create a problem. How? You say that I want to move out of my home and can you please come here? Or you say, I'm stuck in this position, I am not finding any cab, can you come and take me? Now, whoever shows up for your help, whoever shows up to pick you up, or whoever shows up to give you some dollars, some money, that is your good person. That is your real friend. That person should be kept in your life. All right. So these are the things which I wanted to talk about really. Then there is another way to catch a lie which I haven't talked about in the video, and that is straight face lie. Now this is something which I haven't talked about in any video in my entire life, but I guess you can understand this. Now this is a very, very high quality stuff. Maybe you guys are going to catch it and maybe you guys are not going to catch it, but this is the thing which I think you should have. And that is how to catch a person in a lie if that person lies with a straight face. Now, first thing, you have to trust your instinct. If you cannot put your finger on the person, like there's something wrong with this person, now that is the person who does lie to you on your face with a straight face. You cannot catch his or her lies. So you have to first single out that person. Now you have to spend some time in figuring out how that person talks, how that person behaves, right? You have to spend some time on that. Why? Because if you don't spend your time on analyzing that person, you can never catch lies of that person. There was a very good movie by Nicolas Cage. It is God of War, Lord of War, Lord of War. The movie was called Lord of War, where Nicolas Cage was an arms dealer, and how police is for going out for him. He's the police is trying to catch him, and he's uncatchable. And in the end, his wife, his wife is the reason why police caught him. And in the end, he also walks out of the prison because he says in the end that even the government uses me, even the government needs my arms, needs my guns, so you cannot keep me in the prison. But in the end, in the movie, if you analyze this, in the end, even his wife turns like him. Even his wife becomes a person who can speak, or you can say, who can tell a lie on his face with a straight face. And he says, and this is a very good line by him. He says she learned from the best. She learned how to lie from myself. So that is why I could not catch her in a lie. So you have to analyze that person. You have to spend some time to analyze how that person is talking, how that person is behaving when he is speaking the truth. And then you are going to analyze the things where you know that this is a lie, and then you try to catch that person in a lie. So for example, it is kind of a marathon kind of game. So you first pick a target, that this is the person who lies with a straight face, and then you analyze his pattern, his or her pattern, how that person is lying, is how, or you can say, what is his or her body language, what is his or her speaking language, speaking tone, speaking speed, right, talking speed, how are his actions. So first you analyze that, then you deliberately give that person some scenarios, some situations where that person has to lie, and you know that person is going to lie. Now you have to produce that kind of situation. You cannot catch that person in a lie if you don't know if that person is lying. So to certainly know if that person is lying is when you can produce such situation where that person has to lie to save his or her skin. All right. So this is a kind of marathon game where you have to spend a lot of time on that person, and after that you are going to catch lies of only that person. Because even a person with a straight face gives us, or gives off, few body language clues that this is how that person is lying. So you have to understand that, you have to analyze that, and you have to spend a lot of time on it. So it is not recommended in the video. I know in the video I've said you are not going to catch lies of strangers, and it is not worth it. And this idea is also not worth it if you are going to be, you can say, possessive, or very mm, the right word is freaky about it. If you're going to be very freaky about it, if you are going to be very possessive about it, if you are going to be very single-minded on it, that I have to catch one person who speaks a lie with a straight face, and you are going to spend your life, spend many years on that person, it's not worth it. You just moves on. All right, your life is going to move on, and you should also move on from that person. So this is my advice to you. You don't try to stick to one person. You don't try to stick to one person, that all right, I am going to catch this person in a lie, right? So you don't do that. I know there have been a lot of movies in the Hollywood, in the Bollywood, in the world, where the whole plot is for the hero to catch that antagonist, or that enemy, or you can say that villain in a lie. I know they have been a lot of movies, but it is not worth it, because in the movies also the hero is trying very very hard. The team of the hero is trying very very hard to catch that person in a lie or in an act of lie, and they are spending a lot of time in it. They are spending many many years in preparing that situation where that person has to lie, and they are going to catch that person. So this is it. It is quite exhaustive. It is quite exhaustive topic. It is quite exhaustive topic to talk on. So this was it. So it is a self promotion time. It is today. Today I'm going to self promote myself on the end of the video, because this live is going to be a very short one. Is there any one person? All right, there have been some people. So this live is a very short one, and so it is a self promotion time. All right. So here it is. I am a business consultant who have helped many people with the businesses. I'm in a business consultation from last 10 years. I have helped a lot of people in making money in the financial markets, in their businesses, and I have helped people, a lot of people, in making a lot of money. Right? I'm going to say this again after many lives. You can see it in my eyes. I have helped a lot of people in making money. And if you are in a situation where you don't know how to grow your business, if you don't know where to invest your money, so you can contact me. You can contact me on Instagram, you can contact me on Twitter, Facebook, as well as on Telegram. The links are given in the description. You can click on it and you will find my inboxes on the shared links, and you can contact me on there. So my consultation fee varies according to your portfolio size or your net worth, and my advices are also going to different, going to be different, or you can say vary. So if you are a person with a lot of money who wants to check me, you can check out all my levels of a consultancy, and you can give me a lot of money, and I'm going to give you different different advice for each type of portfolio, each type of net worth, and then you would know how much is the difference between my advices. So this is it. And for the consultation level, first you contact me and I ask you about yourself, about your family, about your life, about your business. Right? I ask you all these things, and then I give you the advice, my consultation. And I am not a financial advisor even in my country, and not in any other country. So if you get any advice from me, you are very very free to go, and I would advise you to go to your financial planner, to your financial guy, and run those advices by that person, and then you take action on that. But as I've said this before, I have helped people, a lot of people, in making a lot of money. So if you do get my advice, you act on it, you are going to make a lot of money. So this is it for today. I have talked about a very extensive and a very exhaustive and very exclusive topic on this live. It is a very very high kind of stuff. People are making courses, and in those courses also they are not going to share these kind of tricks and tips. So I've given you a very much gold mine to use, a very big gold mine to use. So I'm here for last 3 minutes, let's say. So if you have any question regarding crypto market, if you have any question regarding this lie, how you can catch a lie, if you have any question about anything, it is the time to ask me, and I'm going to answer you. This live is too much back. So Is there any person who wants to ask me anything about catching a lie, about crypto markets? Anything? I forgot to wear my watch. Last few minutes. If you are here present on the live, you can ask me your question, and I'm here to answer your question. Why don't we check out the crypto charts while we are here? Okay, okay, okay. Still quite good. All right, last 2 minutes, guys. If anyone have any question, ask me in the comments, and I'm going to answer that person. Don't be shy. Don't be shy for that. If you are here present in the live, you should ask your question if there is any. Okay, maybe no one is here to ask me any question. So this is it for today. And if you ever find this live on your feed, on your mobile phone, make sure you heed my advice of not picking a person where you want to catch that person in a lie and that person is very, very excellent, or you can say very, very good in talking a lie or telling a lie with a straight face. Make sure you don't spend your whole life or your lives even 5 years or 2 years in catching that person in a lie. Make sure that. All right. So this is it for today. Peace out. Bye bye.